Welcome back to the Clubhouse, and for those of you just joining us, welcome to the Tribe. We are a group of FSU alumni obsessed with the culture, the gear, and the game of golf. From breaking down tour news to roasting our own weekend blowups, no topic is out of bounds. Grab a drink and settle in. This is the Tea Time Tribe. All right, everyone, welcome back to the Tea Time Tribe. I'm Eric, as always, joined with John and Ian. We've got a lot to get to today. We just wrapped up the first of the Fedex Cup playoffs, and in true fashion, Scottie Scheffler dominated again, solidifying himself that top spot, which at this point, we all knew was happening. Doesn't really mean too much going to the Tour Championship because you make Tour Championship, you can still win the Fedex Cup. So we'll get to that a little later. Starting off the show, as we are Florida State alumni, we have to give a huge congratulations to Jack Whaley of the Florida State men's golf team for winning the U.S. Amateur this weekend. I was reading he became the second Englishman to win the U.S. Amateur since 1911. And with the win, he gets in the field for the Masters, the U.S. Open, and the Open Championship, which is going to be held at St. Andrews in 2027. So he's got a lot of good things coming his way. And I believe he's still got 1 year left, right? He's going into their senior year at FSU.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, he's haven't heard anything about him turning pro, so it's good for the Knolls.
Just a quick recap. I saw he basically didn't play well in the qualifying rounds. He had to be in a 16 for 11 man playoff to make the match play format. So he obviously got through that at number 60, had to face the number 5 ranked guy from the stroke play tournament. Went 22 holes, won that one, and then just kind of coasted up until the final. And he was down 2 after 18, came back and won 4 and 3. So quite a way to grab the title. But yeah, huge congratulations to him. Just more solidifying that Florida State men's golf team is just superior in all fashion.
I know football season's right around the corner, but it's mid-August. We're a golf school.
But we've known that for a while.
We have. And it's only going to get better with Miles and Charlie coming.
The future looks good. Correct. Very exciting. But yeah, no, this is cool. I can't believe he won 60 seed. 64, right? That make it to the match play. So that's like if you want to go like March Madness, that's like a 15 or like a high 16 seed making like the Final Four. I mean, I know obviously golf's way different, but because all these guys, all 64, if you make it out of that huge, the stroke play rounds into the match play, like you're good, obviously. But
yeah,
that's a crazy ride for him, especially coming back like that. But that's why they play 36 in the final.
Sure,
ton of golf to be played. You're never out of it. Did y'all see that chip that what's the guy he beat? James Lang. Did you see the chip he had? I don't think it was it was in the final against him, where he was just short of the green. If I sent it to you guys,
was
he's
the
probably
one where
20
it was
yards
just short
of the
and
green.
he just
He
hit like
30 yards to
the right.
To the right, and it funneled down. He almost drained it. Yeah, crazy. That was one of the
you got to send it.
Chips I've seen.
Send it to me. I'll check it out.
Yeah, I will.
You got to have some balls to try that.
To you guys. It was because like the commentators were like, "Oh, he got stuck." Nope, it just dribble. It was a perfect chip. He like lipped out to like a foot, and then James actually gave me a thumbs up. He's like, "You're good. That one's all right." But yeah, it was one of the crazier chips I've seen, especially at the USAM. We can talk about Marion. Like they're getting the U.S. Open, I believe, in 2030. So in a couple of years from now, they're going to have the U.S. Open, but it hasn't been held there since 2013 when Justin Rose won. That's cool. It's a cool track with the wicker basket pins. We got to get it more in the rotation than every almost 20 years. It's kind of crazy. I think it's an old school course, par 70. I think got to get it in there. Someone on Twitter was like, "Well, we get it 2030 and then we don't get it again until like 2050 or whatever." But don't worry, we get Pebble Beach 3 times, and we get Pinehurst another 3 times in between that and Marion after 2030. So everything's right with golf, right? I thought that was a little of the necessary straight at Pinehurst. So that's kind of that's like a classic U.S. Open venue. And Pebble is too, but Pebble's gotten too easy in the the recent years. It used to be just like a really long course, and now it's just like every year they have it. It's 19 under at the AT&T, and when Woodland won it, he was 17 under. So it's become way easier than it used to be back in the day.
The weather has broken for the past few times that they've played there too. Even like in the weeks leading up, it's been like torrential downpours, and then all of a sudden it's like the ocean, like it's like the sea parts, and they just have this like magical walk through the course that's now drenched versus like having to play in the actual conditions.
This might be a hot take.
What does that say about the course what's it say about the course if it's weathered?
No, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying like it's not Ireland. It's not Scotland where like they get rain all the time and the course is set up for that. The course should be better set up to handle that with all the technology they have out there.
This might be a hot take, but I believe the US Open should exclusively be an East Coast thing, and almost to the Northeast. Like Pinehurst is a little bit of an exception, but just because, again, we always talk about it. US Opens, we want warm weather, fast greens, fast fairways. We want people to earn their pars and their birdies. And like you just said with the weather, you can't really get that out in California for Pebble and for, Torrey or wherever else they're going to have it over there on the West Coast. So I just think East Coast courses are more set up for US Open.
Yeah. I don't know if it should be exclusively East Coast. That's like now you're pulling out Torrey Pines from the US Open and we're coming back to Torrey Pines. Yeah. I don't know.
They can have the PGA.
I like where your head's at, Eric. In fact, I love where your head's at. But I give a couple. So I'm interested to see Riviera's getting, I think, in 2031 or 32. And they haven't had a U.S. Open there. I meant to look that up. Ever. I mean, it's been a long, long, long time. So I'll be curious to see how that shows up in a couple years. And then I'm okay with Torrey being in the Rota because we have enough data that shows that like they make it a tough track for U.S. Opens. I mean, in 21, I think Rahm was like 5 or 6 under when he won, and then Tiger in 08, it was like even or +1 before they went to that 18-hole playoff. So it shows its teeth, and there's enough data there that shows that like it's a formidable track. Whereas like Pebble is weather dependent, right? If you get nice weather, as Ian said, it's a magical walk, right? Like. But yeah, if you get one of those crazy windy, rainy days, like we've seen videos of when people are, playing the course, Pogue's playing the course, and it's 50-mile-an-hour winds, and they're hitting drive around 7, and it's still not even making the green. Then yeah, it's an insane course, but you're putting a lot of your bet on Mother Nature there. But yeah, there's also, these old courses, they all start on the East Coast, right? Like it took a long time for a lot of people to get out west and start making old courses out that way. So that's why like Riviera is old. There's some LA courses that are old, and then Pebble's pretty old. But yeah, there's not a ton out there. So you're kind of like slim pickings. And then also like you got to factor in infrastructure, right? Like some of these courses aren't built to host like huge events.
That's true.
It would be cool. It's so insane I'm sure people would go nuts. And Bandon's hosted the USAM. It's getting it again. They could figure out a way to get a US Open there. Somehow, some way in our lifetime, that would be pretty dope. I know Ian's been out there; they got a bunch of courses, but if they could figure it out, might be a logistical nightmare. That would be a sight to see.
What do you think? Do you think Bandit can hand it?
It definitely could. There's enough space for literally everybody and their mothers to go out to Bandit and walk. The problem is getting everybody out there. It's very similar to what was it, the last PGA Championship. Like people just couldn't get there, so it wasn't. So there were barely any crowds. Right, Long Island's really tough to get out there. Right, so you're talking about one local airport that can bring people in, and then everybody else has to drive at least anywhere from 2 to 3 hours from the nearest airport, which is in probably like Portland, or drive up from, which is like 4 hours, 4 or 5 hours. So, but once they're there, they could absolutely put up the facilities to host every single year. Like, and they could probably have that's a place where you could blend the infrastructure into the environment, right? Because they have total control of the land. So if they can dig the posts ahead of time and just leave them there year over year, so that they can just make it easier instead of having to redig the posts every year and lay the foundations. They can have other things on the foundations when they're not in use. And they have so many other tournaments throughout the rest of the year hosted out at Bandit. So I don't know. It could be cool. But I get your point, Eric. Point taken on the East Coast. On the East Coast side of things, I disagree with going to some of the smaller venues on the Northeast, right? It was US Open. Sorry, I'm completely spacing right now. But anyways, you get my point around the majors. It's just not a good look when you're not making it accessible to the broader audiences that you're trying to grow the game for. That at its core is what I'm focused on.
Fair point. All right.
Once a decade, West Coast did it. It's fine.
That's right,
Once every 10 years. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Make it special.
All right, before we get to FedEx St. Jude, we did just get word, I believe it was either earlier today or yesterday, that LIV Golf officially canceled their team event, season ending in Michigan, and they're going to use the event this week in Indy as like their end of the season tournament. John Rahm's already claimed top individual, so 2 and 3 are up for grabs. The top team is up for grabs. I don't know what to take of this because obviously LIV's coming out and saying, well, this is just to, hold on to some more cash and look forward to 2027 and what they're calling LIV 2.0. But it seems like a lot of the players are starting to understand this might be the end. I don't know if you guys saw it. Like Ian Poulter basically came out and said like this could potentially be it. Starting talking about like, I'm of age and I can go play senior tour if I want to. If there is a LIV 2.0, I can potentially play that. Bigger names have the potential to go back to DP World Tour and or PGA Tour. But a lot of the guys that aren't big names, what are they going to do if this goes under? So I want to get your guys' thoughts on what you think this means for LIV 2.0 potential.
I think it's a crock of shit. I think you're trying to cover up. You're trying to put lipstick on a pig. Like it's going under. They're trying to save face right now, especially because they know that if they were to just come out blatantly and say, we're done, every single one of those players would say, great, pay me the rest of my contract that you owe me, right? This is guaranteed money. And if I can't fulfill my side by playing in the tournaments because you chose to cancel it, you owe me that money. So they're going to drag this shit out and there'll probably be a LIV 2.0, probably not next year, but the year after in some way, shape or form. But did you see that the event's going to be four rounds?
This team championship one?
Yeah.
As a normal golf tournament should.
Interesting, right? So they've completely conceded like every bit of this entire experiment, because that's exactly what it was. It was an experiment, right? And has completely degraded, and we're now back to who do we want to bring back into the group chat? Like that's kind of the way I see it. Is there were some people who ventured off onto their own little group chat island and were like, hey, we can make this work, guys. We're gonna go do all this fun shit and look at all these funny memes that we send back and forth, right? Like ha 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 ha, and then it fizzled out. Like halfway through the year, people just stopped talking to each other. They couldn't, like, the shit that they were sending was like, it was just too racist. Like, I don't know, it was just weird shit. And so they're like, this is weird and this is awkward. And they're like, can we come back to the group chat? And now we kind of got to pick who we want to bring back to group chat. That's just me though.
Yeah, no, they're you said it, they're delaying the inevitable, right? Like this end of year tournament in Michigan was never going to happen. I mean, it was we talked about it weeks ago when I mean it's a public course where they're playing, I believe, and someone was saying it's like there's no stand set up, there's no infrastructure for any sort of professional tour tournament that's going to play here anytime soon. So it's the worst kept secret in golf that this tournament was never going to happen. Kind of messed up that they waited till the very last minute to say, yeah, it's canceled. It's like, well, we all knew that. Yeah, I mean, as far as like the guys that are on the tour, the young guys, the Roms, Cam Smiths, Tyrrell Hattons, the DP World Tour will probably welcome them with semi-open arms, some sort of deal. The PGA Tour will probably work something out like they did with Brooks. As far as, the guys, the rank and file of the LIV Tour, as Eric said, the older guys who are, approaching 50 or who are already 50, they may look to go the senior route if they're good enough. And the thing with golf is if you're good enough, you got a decent amount of following, they're going to find a tour for you, right? Like they always want more fans. They always want more eyeballs. The lesser known guys, who have been there since day one, you got their paycheck. This is your, you joined a startup, employee number 3, 4, whatever, whenever you signed up, all your funding's out, your Series A funding, all that stuff. It's all done. You collected your paychecks over the last however many years. It's your retirement, man. You made your bed, time to sleep in it. And it's, it's on with the rest of your life. And if you really are, game about the game and you want to get back in some sort of tour, you want to, qualify the old fashioned way, go for it. But this was a failed experiment. It lasted, I feel like, a little bit longer than we all thought. But, as long as the Saudis were involved, they have limitless money and finally came to their senses and this just wasn't going to work out. So I'm excited just from a golf fan. I want all the best players playing together, right? I want Ron back on the tour. I want Bryson back on the tour. I want all these guys, to pay their fine, pay their dues, pay their charity, whatever they're going to make them do. But the tour is better when the best are playing all together, right? Like the startup didn't work. Start it over, get it back, give them, start them with a fresh slate, 0 points. I miss, I miss some stupid Bryson shit, right? Like I need him to run into a rope, get hit with like a twig in a tree, and then blame the tree. That's the tree that's been there for 125 years that he hit a ball on a root. Like I need that. So yeah, let's get it going. Let's get this indie tournament over, and let's get the new tour or the new people back on the PGA Tour.
I'm going to be interested to see what that conversation is going to be like with the tour and the John Rahms, the Brysons, Cam Smith, Tyrrell Hatton. It'll be interesting to see if they'll be like, do they say, there's no place for you to come back on the PGA Tour or like this championship series if they push it to 2028? Like they're not going to, I can't imagine they would put them straight on the championship series. Maybe they'll put them on the whatever tier 2 series is, or, if they really want to go that far back, go to Corn Ferry. I mean, that's what I'm most interested in, to see what the tour's response is, because they've already now basically twice have put out a rope for people to say like, look, this is your chance, take it or leave it. And they've turned it down every single time. So we'll see. I'm sure we'll just get random pieces here and there until we get actual words of what's actually happening, like we just did with the with this season-ending team championship. But yeah,
I'd be curious to see if
I was going to say I'm kind of with you guys. Just like, let's get it over with. It's a failed experiment. Let's move on.
I'm curious to see if I don't know how much money, like his contract was insane, right? Like, is he like, if he really cares about getting back on the PGA Tour, like let's just say he's gotten like 100 million of his like 300 million or whatever, half of it. Let's say 150 of the 300 million he was guaranteed. Does he just like waive the remaining 150 and it's just like, hey, I don't want to be in litigation with these guys for the next who knows how many years trying to get the remaining 150 as like an act of good faith. I'll just drop it. That's money I'm never going to get. I did make a lot off them already. And, to the tour, it's like, hey, I'm all in on you guys. I don't really care about them, even though they owe me an unbelievable amount of money. I'd be curious to see if that's something a route that he goes, because going to war with the Saudi bank account, and all their bazillion lawyers could drag out for a long time, and he could end up paying $150 million in legal fees trying to get that.
That's what I'm saying. They know exactly what they're doing. They're making sure that they don't admit to anything too soon. So they have to seem like it's all things are normal right now. Nothing is out of the ordinary. We're adjusting, right? This is your stereotypical downsizing when it comes to a startup company. Where they say, even if it's not a startup, if it's a large org, they're like, you know what, you guys have just done such a great job, and no, we're not fine. We're actually in a great financial position right now. We're not in any trouble. Like look at all this money. Like we've got 5 years of runway left, but we need to shift our focus somewhere else. And you know what? We're reorganizing. We're going to restructure the org. And you know what? We've found some redundancies here. Like some of the players that we didn't want. And some of the teams. Shut up, Alexa.
But she's been there for every episode. She's never interrupted until now. That's crazy.
She's never interrupted, and now she interrupted. That slut.
Unplug her.
Anyway.
Yeah,
I just did. Yeah, so I think they're looking to do a nice little reorg right now, restructuring, when in reality, they just know it's not working. The people that they have is not working.
My thing, kind of going back to John's point here, is let's say, just take John Rahm for example. They're talking that this new LIV 2.0, they're basically gonna more than likely try to convert what they're owed into this like equity of LIV 2.0. Let's just say John Rahm doesn't want it. Like, or is he just saying like, all right, well, I either take the equity or I lose out on my 150, or is it I take the equity or I walk away and give me X and we negotiate whatever that number is?
No, they're going to say you either get the equity or you leave the equity on the table. But here's the thing. The equity is a play to keep John Rahm on the tour.
Of course.
But yeah. I think Rahm's too smart to, I say he's too smart, but I also know how
he signed a contract and he's not getting all the money he's doing.
Well, no, how fucking arrogant he is. He is one arrogant son of a bitch. And he's very stubborn. Like that, from what I've heard from the sweet whispers of the interwebs and the folks that I've talked to that have talked to him, he's just a stubborn guy. Like he likes things to be his way. He's got that Spanish fire, So I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't think he's that. We talked about this a couple weeks ago, and I said if he didn't get all that money up front, he's got the worst lawyer on the planet or agent, because you just rolled the absolute dice on that. Speaking of people making bad decisions, do y'all remember Michael Lasasso from last year? He won the NCAA individual.
Yeah,
he's the dude with the crazy swing, and he joined LIV at the beginning of this year. He joined Phil's team back in January. So his LIV career lasted 7 months. That's another dude that's just
got relegated.
Made a bad call, like zero professional status. Gave up. He won the NCAA, so he was going to play in the Masters this year. All the majors. Didn't. He just forfeited all that by joining LIV. Now 7 months later, you want to talk about rank and file? Bad decision, man. Just bad advice. And I don't know if it was, Phil that kind of convinced him to make that decision or what it was. And don't know how much money he made, but that's another one that's, pour one out. That was just a young kid who made a real bad choice.
Well, it's guys like that what happens to their guaranteed money? I mean, John Rahm went to LIV 3 years ago now. Yeah. So
he gets paid out first.
I think so.
He for sure gets paid out first. The big names, it's like any good company going under.
Well, you can't really call it a good company.
The highest. No, like any big company, not a good company. Any big company that goes under in like bankruptcy, the largest shareholders always get paid out first before anybody else does.
True. But those guys like
Yeah.
the Michael Lasassos and those no names that when LIV first kind of came on the scene, were they paid outright because their contract wasn't $150 million or $200 million? No, they probably got a couple million. Maybe they're just like, here you go.
I think some of it was upfront, but I think the rest of it,
Yeah.
I think the rest of it, they should look for one of these in the mail.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
A fucking rock with a turtle on it. That's probably more than they can expect, to be honest with you.
All right. LIV Golf's done.
Lasasso, he's made $2.44 million this year. Just his payout and team payouts from LIV. So he did okay.
So take let's say take roughly three to 400,000 of that off the top for travel, coaches, equipment, family travel, food, everything. So that brings him down to roughly 2 million. I mean, yeah, he's a young guy. If he can build himself back up, he's still head and shoulders above any other tour player for the next 4 years, right? Because you think about the 500,000 guaranteed each year for a PGA Tour player, so roughly 4 years to break even. Even if he was just to retain his tour card, right, for those 4 years.
Yeah.
But John, but John, to your point, the amount of publicity that he lost by not playing in the majors, I think that will always be the question in the back of, if I was him, that would be my question in the back of my mind is, did I make the right decision by going over to LIV and not capitalizing on the ability to play in these majors that I qualified for?
You did not. I'll tell you that.
I did not. No.
All right, moving on. FedEx St. Jude was the first tournament of the FedEx Cup playoffs this year. Not surprising. Scottie Scheffler just said, you know what? It's about time. And just destroyed the field. Absolutely manhandled the field, which I saw he won 3.6 for winning the event. And he's already won, I believe it's 20 million or 23 million for coming first in the FedEx Cup, which they give after the BMW because he's so far ahead there and he's already won it. So he can come in dead last the BMW or not even play. Still gets number one. So it's just Scottie, which I also saw another stat, which was wild, which we've mentioned before, but the distance between him and Rory at 1-2 in world golf rankings is the same distance or just about the same distance as between Rory, number 2, and like the 516th world golf ranking guy, which I don't even know his name. It's just bonkers to think about that.
And he's 1 million. He's like $1 million away from being all-time leading money on PGA Tour. He's $1 million behind Tiger Woods.
Yep. Which
is that adjusted? Is that adjusted for inflation?
I doubt it. There is no straight money you're winning. Which again, like when you go down to like PGA Tour wins, obviously Tiger's head and shoulders above, but like purse money, obviously over the last couple of years has ballooned.
That's what. But also, like, you think about how much more Tiger would have made back in the. We're not going to go down this rabbit hole. I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
We're not gonna. It's. Yeah. The TLDR of what I was about to say was, without Tiger Woods, these numbers wouldn't. I am a firm believer the numbers you see in the PGA Tour today that Scottie Scheffler was able to win this year would not have been available if not for Tiger's ability to bring up the name of golf into the populace, in the general population.
I would agree with that. I don't think anyone would disagree with that.
That's a cold take, buddy. Everyone's gonna agree with you there, brother. Yeah, that's like
no, I know. I didn't want us to go down the. I just didn't want. Honestly, I just didn't want myself to go down the route of trying to like calculate what the difference would have been for inflation of what Tiger made, along with how much more if you would have put the numbers from this year back to Tiger's year to see how much he would have made based on like how many tour wins he got. That's just too much math.
It's a lot of math. That's a lot of math.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Anyways, alrighty, take the floor. Take us away.
So I was looking at the field from FedEx St. Jude, and basically everyone that was in the top 50 going into FedEx St. Jude advanced. There was only one spot that flipped. So the one guy that was outside looking in, Sung Jae Im, finished T5 even after shooting 4 over on Sunday. So he must have been shaking in his boots a little bit. But he jumped from 53 to 40. So he got into BMW. The one guy's place that he took that dropped out was Keith Mitchell. He was number 49, dropped to number 51. Other than that, everyone that was outside stayed outside. Everyone that was inside the line stayed in. Jordan Spieth's run of no top 10s continued as he finished T19. Some other names that didn't quite make it. Max Homa finished a couple places shy. Let's see here. Harris English. There's one other one. Shane Lowry was another one. Apparently, Brian Harmon had a chance to shoot up there, but shot 75 on Sunday and really lost all hope. So good job, Brian Harmon. And of course, the big story, Jackson Koiven, he finished T24, fortunately finished in 67th place, but hell of a year that kid had.
Yeah. Good start.
Yeah. So other than Scottie just basically playing like it's an afternoon round for him and just destroying the field, I was a little surprised going into Sunday at some of the names that kind of shit the bed, to put in the best terms I possibly can. Like Sam Burns was in position to give Scottie a run and just didn't play as we expect Sam Burns on a Sunday to play.
Yeah, I've said this for a while. I don't know if he has those closing genes.
Fair.
This whole year has kind of been a exhibition on. Look, he's been right in striking position, if not been in a defensive position, and he just has not been able to shut him down, or just get the ball over the goal line. I don't know what else to say about it. John, what are your thoughts?
No, I mean, there's been a lot of, look at Tommy Fleetwood. How many years, you know what I mean, before he finally won a big one where he was just on the cusp. So it's not for a lack of talent, right? It's just he's taken the road, I won't say less traveled, but the harder road, right? Like he's right there. I mean, the last couple of majors too. So his time's coming. It's just taking a long, long time. There's an absurd list of people who have won, but between like now and his last win, it's insanely long. And there's, random people who won like 2 or 3 times that you've never heard of since last time Sam Burns won. So he's overdue for like an insanely big win, be it a major FedEx Cup. He's right there. I mean, he's playing so good. He's just not winning big tournaments, unfortunately. So yeah, I feel like he's on a Tommy Fleetwood-esque trajectory, and finding a big win here soon.
The other surprising finish, I should say, for FedEx St. Jude was Rory. I think he finished in like 66th or something. I don't know if you guys saw.
No, he was checked out. Yeah.
Yeah. He, he made the comment a couple weeks or months ago. I think we talked about it of like, I just basically have to be in the top 30 going to the Tour Championship. So if I play well enough throughout the year, even if I don't play well in the FedEx St. Jude and BMW, I'm still going to make the Tour Championship, which he will. He's still at 13th right now. So clearly in the field for a Tour Championship. But I believe it was, he made the comment of like, yeah, I was lost out there. It just felt as the week went on, I just was more and more lost with my swing and what was happening. And I think Sam Burns also said he took a little time off. I believe he just had a kid as well. So it's interesting to see some of these bigger names, like obviously saying how they've taken this time off, or they don't really give too much sense to some of these first couple FedEx Cup playoff events. So again, there's just more fuel to the fire in my eyes of what this championship series in 28 and going forward is going to look like, and what the FedEx Cup, if at all there's a FedEx Cup of any nature, looks like. Because clearly, like, unless you're on that cut line between these tournaments, you kind of just coast along. You're kind of just like practice rounds for you at this point.
Yeah, I'm in agreement.
They reward good play. So throughout the year, I guess you can do that.
Which, yeah, you should. Okay, so before we move on to BMW, which is the second playoff event this year, first we'll go to Ian. He had a interesting event at his club this weekend. He was telling me a little bit about it before we started recording here, but Ian, you want to tell us about it?
Yeah. So I had a nice little event at the club. It was a par 3 contest. So they for those who may not have listened to previous episodes where I've described the club that I'm at, play at it. Nice little homegrown course, West Orange Country Club, down here in Orlando, Florida. It's a nice track when they want it to be. And right now they've got it in better condition than normal. So there's grass on the majority of the course, which is always good to see. And this par 3 contest is taking every single hole out there and creating a par 3 out of it. And it's not just, let's go put the tee boxes into the middle of the fairway. It's, hey, number 10 tee box is caddy corner to number 18 green. So for number 18, we're going to get you guys to play from 10 tee box and hit over a little pond that you would never normally get to do otherwise. So it's fun to get to play from a bunch of different angles. There were a few holes that you had to hit over big oak trees right in front of you. So that was fun. There were a couple holes that you had to hit dedicated shot shapes where either had to be a bit of a draw or a bit of a fade to get to where they had the pins, because the trees were just blocking your lines. But I'd like to get your guys' take on this. There were probably like probably 7 holes that were over 180, 190 yards as par 3s. And keep in mind, there were like, I think there were like 90, 95, 94 players out there. So there were a lot of different teams, and we're not talking a bunch of scratch players out there. Like top flight had 10 guys in it total, or 10 teams total. So what are your thoughts on having that many 190 yard par 3s on a par 3 contest?
Were there like obstacles on these long ones, or are they more like straight away, like unimpeded, like you could see the green from that length, or are you still hitting like blind shots from like 190?
There were, it's a good question. There were a few, I'd say half of those were from either the same hole fairway or from the next hole fairway. So there was, I was telling E2 right before you got on, John, that there was one of them that was like 190. It's like 195 that played 200, 203. That the because of where you teed off, the green slopes left to right, so you couldn't see the green. So it was like hitting a blind shot. It was number, I don't know if you remember this one, John, but it was number 13. It was the one that was next to the road. We called it the road hole.
Yeah.
You remember that one? Yeah. So,
yeah, and I hit it on the road. Sure.
yeah, exactly. That green, if you remember, slopes not hard, but just enough left to right. So we were teed off from the fairway over on number 13. So sorry, that number 12's the road hole. Number 13 goes perpendicular. So we were in the fairway of number 13, hitting to that left to right green. So I don't know.
Okay.
What do you think? Is that fair? Not fair?
It sounds like it's gimmicky, so yeah, it should be fair. Anything goes. They can put, stuff on the green too, bottles of liquor. I don't really care. Seems like it's all for fun. Suggestion for next year.
Yeah. I will put that in the suggestion box. Bottles of.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense to me. I mean,
whatever.
I think you need a few of those like gimmicky or like quote unquote tough holes. You don't want to make it, I guess, too easy and too like, oh yeah, here's a 70-yard par 3, here's an 80-yard par 3. Is 6 or 7 of them a little much for that distance, depending on the players maybe, but
Yeah. Well, it was tough for them to get a handicap for everybody too. Because they did end up giving people handicaps. They put them into flights, but like, how do you put people into? How do you rank a sports handicap? Yeah,
you don't. At that point, everyone would scratch and you just put people in flights based on their current handicap, and that's it.
Yeah, but like, my pops and I. My pops is a 3 right now, and I'm an 8. And somehow we were a 2 handicap.
Whoever did that math did not math correctly.
So yeah, but anyways, it was a lot of fun. We had a great time. Made in true Kessler fashion. I made 2 putts outside of 30 feet for just an absolute bomb of a putt on number 10 from like 50 feet, and one from like 30, 35 feet, and almost made the next one after the 50-foot putt. I missed it by like half an inch for another 40-foot putt. So, but then we proceeded to miss 2 inside of 15 feet for birdies, and it brought us back down to earth. So
there you go, solid.
Lost by a couple strokes too. So cool. But overall, great time. Would recommend. I feel like they should do it more often throughout the year. It's an easy event. Everybody seemed like they had a good time, even though they were a bunch of losers, including myself. So, it's a good time though.
Awesome. All right, weekly debate time. I forget who sent it to us in our group text.
John.
But was it John? So the catch is, it's kind of like last week's. You have 1 year to break 70. You have unlimited resources, limited money, clubs, teachers, whatever you want.
Nannies.
Correct. Yep. And I'll even go one further, because I feel like this is a question that Ian was going to ask: is, are you playing on a par 70 or par 71 or par 72?
No, it's par 72.
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
Yeah. You just got to break 70. And I mean, shooting 69, okay. 69 strokes.
Yeah. Sure.
Could be harder. Could be higher 70. Yeah.
You have a full year to break 70, unlimited resources, $100 million if you complete it. And if you don't, it's not as bad as, well, it could be potentially as bad as last week's. You're not going to prison, but you can never play golf again. Are you tempting?
Yeah. There's no doubt in my mind I'm doing that. Absolutely.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah. I think we could get you into like a locked arm putter, Eric. Like you'd be making putts in no time.
I don't know if I could ever get myself to do one of those putters. I don't care how good of a putter it makes me.
$70 million.
I just feel like I would look so silly.
I don't care what I look like. If I've got $70 million, what the fuck are you talking about here, Eric?
I would look like Bryson, and I don't want to look like Bryson.
You know what else you look like?
Talking to the same
an idiot
person,
for not taking this. Yeah, I know. I was like, you look like an idiot for not taking this deal. Aesthetic society cares. You're $100 million richer, or whatever it is, after you do it.
Yeah,
it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I'm a higher handicap than all of you.
Yeah, you're taking it
unlocked. Yeah, I'm gonna have my first lesson since like 2003. Yeah, that was the YMCA kid.
Well, so
yeah, I'm a self-made golfer. It's clearly it shows.
So here's the thing: unlimited resources. What do you think? Like the number one, or I guess, resource. What's the number one thing? Like, would it be lessons? Would it be like equipment? Would it be like practice and TrackMan stuff like
lessons. That? Just shut up, Eric. It's all it's lessons. It's lessons. I would have a coach. I would have 3 coaches. I would have my actual swing coach, right? I would have a mental coach, right, to get me unfucked out of the head, right? And then I would have a fitness and a diet coach. I guess fitness and nutrition. You can put those.
Yeah, fuck nutrition. Absolutely not.
Yeah, no, I'd have a nutrition coach, like or like my own chef, right?
Unlimited alcohol.
Unlimited alcohol too. Yes. But
resources. Yeah. What?
Would you join a country club? Like, would you find a par 70 country club that was decent shape, easier track that you'll be able to accomplish that? Or would you try to like ego it up and try to, go on one of these like nice multi-million-dollar initiation fee kind of courses so you can play a fucking beautiful course every single day?
No, I'd stick to West Orange just because I can fly. I can fly through rounds every day. Like I don't have to worry about like pissing anybody off. Like I can play through. Like cause I need reps. Like that's what I need. I need as many possible reps as possible.
That's my thing. Like, sure, I'll probably take a lesson or two to kind of like hone in mostly my putting and just get a little bit better with my driver off the tee. But like for me, it's just going to be every single day, tee it up, go for it, and just see where, I'd probably hire some kind of like some stat person to just keep track of all of my information so I know what I need to work on and just focus on that.
Yeah,
Nice coach. Yeah. You turn your coach. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not a coach. Just stat guy. Just on the computer. Here you go.
Coaches you. Yeah, he coaches you. He tells you what you need to focus on. That's a coach.
Eric, it's been fun, man, but I don't know if we're ever playing golf again.
Like, what are we talking about here? What are we doing?
It'll be funny when your best round's a 71, and because you're just like, didn't really need any help.
Yeah, well, I've already broken.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I didn't break 70 because I wasn't willing to use the putter that I was fit to, and that the stats say I make more putts with.
Despite having unlimited resources.
Unlimited resources, and you get to try every putter in the world, every single stance in the world. Like you have the best instructors in the world that show you, like, hey, this Eric, this literally you will start making every single putt inside of 10 feet, and Eric just goes,
nah,
I don't want to do that. No,
I don't want to look like an asshole.
No,
what if I'm about to?
My God.
All right. Moving on. We're getting ahead of ourselves. All right. BMW this week. Ian, do we have the wheel ready?
The wheel is ready.
So, like we talked about last week, there is a top 20 that we could bet on. I will say about half of the field is minus money.
I'm already ahead of you.
So, do we want to do a top 20? Do we want to do a top 10? I'm all in for top 20 still. I'm still let's go top 20. It's been the bet.
Yeah. It's been the bet. We got to do 3 people. So still not being plus money. Let's send it. You see one go through. Act like we want it. We want to make this more difficult.
That's good point. That's a good point.
It's like we play the same tees week after week. And all of a sudden, Eric's like, let's play from 7,800 yards. Why not?
Absolutely not. Nope.
Yeah.
I'm so against that.
Yeah.
Let me pull up the wheel.
And music. Let's go.
Names. There we go. Here we go. All right, names this week still in the field. Ludwig, Akshay.
This should be everyone, right?
51. Yeah. 51 names.
Should you only be 50?
Here's 51. They have an alternate.
I think they.
Well, you know what? You know what? Just run it. And if we pick that guy that's out there, then we don't pick that guy.
That's right. All right. Number 1. Here we go.
No music? Rude.
I swear to God, if it's Nico at Cavaria. All right.
Okay. He's plus money.
Love that. Hold on. Let me make sure that.
We need this music here, dude.
Yeah. Oh, please.
Got all the time in the world for you, Ian.
Customize. Yep. Customize wheel 2. There we go. We want it to take 15 seconds, and we want random music. That's what we're looking for. And then wheel 3, same thing. Customize wheel 3.
Random music.
And there we go. Okay.
Apologize for
Here we go.
technical difficulties here, people.
We're back. Let's go. Oh,
Okay. Also plus money.
All right, nice.
Yep.
Okay. This is the perfect
Okay.
scenario for Scottie.
Here we go.
Oh boy.
You can see that I'm a needy guy.
All
Okay.
right.
Nice.
All right.
All right, okay.
I'm okay with this.
Okay. Yeah, I'm feeling
It's a good.
okay. Yep.
Okay. We're at plus 750.
Okay.
It's solid. It's solid.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I think
Could
we have a
be
chance
worse.
at this.
Yeah.
There's
How much of a
50
chance?
people.
Plus 750.
There's 50 people, and we just need them to beat 30. Not that hard. They're professional golfers.
That's it.
They're all professionals here.
Not looking for a win, just top 20.
That's it. Yeah, we don't need them to do anything silly. Just go out
Not
there and
anything crazy.
couple under. Just get your top 20 move on.
Have fun.
Let me see here. I do have a list of who needs what to qualify for the Tour Championship. Alex Fitz, I believe, is in the top 30 right now. Cam Young obviously is. Nicolai Hojgaard needs at worst, 3-way top 18. T18. So
T20. There we go.
that's all we need.
I like our chances, gentlemen. Let's go. I'm getting fired up.
I'm going to preemptively say, if we hit this, $10 payout, we receive 85. Do we take that $85?
Yeah.
Put that on Scottie to win the Tour Championship. Or we can. Fair. Okay. You got me there. We should wait. I'm getting ahead of ourselves. Okay. All right. Okay.
Let's dream about winning this one. All right.
I surely will.
I surely will. Don't.
All right. Well, that does it. Another round in the books here. Again, thanks for hanging out with the tribe. Remember, if you enjoyed, to subscribe and share it. And until next time, keep in the short grass. Keep the drinks cold. And as always, see you, Jack Whaley. Go Knowles.
Go Knowles.